guest is an Emmy award-winning journalist who can be seen hosting Anderson Cooper at 360 weeknights on CNN. Please welcome Anderson Cooper. First of all, thanks for being here.
Hey, my pleasure.
Congratulations, you're in order. Playgirl magazine named you the second hottest anchor.
How do you know that?
Big fan of the magazine. I've been in it so many times, I thought I'd check it out.
Yeah, the competitions. I beat Larry King. Woo!
Yeah, and narrowly edged out Sam Donaldson. I think we have his, there he is. He was the centerfold in that issue.
It's nice to know there's a fetish group for everyone. So I give hope to, like, pale, skinny, gray-haired, amoeba-like people around the world.
No, you're a fine-looking fellow.
Well, thanks, Conan.
The show's going well. We'll talk later about that. We'll go to dinner, discuss it more thoroughly. But you must tell us what's going on, because I actually never leave the studio. You travel and cover news. You just covered the wedding of Charles and Camilla, is that correct?
I did, yeah. I was just in England on Saturday covering the wedding, which I don't know if you saw it. It was bizarre. It was sort of, I mean, they're clearly, there's a lot of intermarriage that's been going on over the years. And they're all, I don't know if you saw, they're all wearing these hats.
Nice. It's a whole country we're talking about.
No. We're talking about the royal family.
It does look like the Star Wars bar, though, some of these people. It's like, we're here for the wedding, glorp, glorp.
Well, they were also all wearing these hats. I don't know if you saw this. That looked like they'd been running through the forest and, like, got trees and branches and twigs caught on their hair.
Can I ask, what is it about? And no one admires Britain more than I do. Love you guys, but what is it with their obsession with giant, ugly hats?
It's bizarre. And they weren't even hats. They were literally twigs and branches. Like, there were birds nesting in Camilla Parker Bowles' hair.
Right.
It's very strange.
Did you have a good time at the wedding?
It was fun. I mean, I wasn't actually invited to the wedding, so I was kind of standing outside. But, there was a streaker, which is always fun.
You know what? The streaker... That country, the streakers...
They love the streakers,
The streaker was here in this country in a big thing in, like, 1974.
Right. Yeah. No,
and it lasted, like, 6 months. In England, it's still the rage.
Big, yeah.
People are always running by at, like, royal funerals and going, like, oh, it's a streaker! What was
Well, I didn't get to see, his bits and pieces, because they covered him up very quickly. But what was weird is, as soon as they grabbed him, the police put a pair of pants on him. I don't know where they got the pants.
The streaker is so common in Britain
they carry pants.
that bobbies carry a nightstick and a pair of pants. I happen to know that for a fact.
But then all the bobbies posed with the streaker. They were standing around like, they posed with him, and then they brought him back they took him in the direction of Windsor Castle. So I was convinced, and I kept saying on air, that he was a wedding guest, and that he had just gone, like, crazy, and, decided, like, to get off the pants and leave the party, and then they brought him back into the party.
Like anyone's relative at a wedding.
Exactly.
Just running around. Now, I do want to ask you a little bit. Your mom, famous fashion icon Gloria Vanderbilt.
That's right.
Something I didn't know about you when you first went on the air. And she wrote a book about her life.
Yeah,
and I'm curious, I don't know how comfortable I would be if my mom wrote a book about her life.
Well, it wasn't just her life. She just came out with this book about her sex life, basically, and it was about all the guys she's, like, hooked up with over the years.
That's got to be very strange for you.
Well, it's a little bizarre, yeah, because I used to think the worst thing in the world was, like, hearing your parents talk about sex. It's not. The worst thing in the world is learning that your parents' sex life is actually more interesting than your own.
Right.
And my mom was, like, hooked up with, like, Marlon Brando, and, like, Howard Hughes flew her around, so to speak.
So to speak.
And so there are, like, how do you compete with that? It's like, well, I don't know, I kissed somebody, and it kind of feel kind of lame. And also then reading these chapters, because she would send me these chapters as she's writing it, and I was fine with most of it. I sort of intellectually understood I should, embrace her sexuality or whatever it is.
Right.
But my mom's 81, and there's some things I just didn't want to know about. And
she's writing about things that are happening today?
She talks about this guy she's dating, and she describes him as the Nijinsky of cunnilingus. Yeah. Now, I don't know much about... I don't know much about dance, but...
Can we go to commercial now?
Yeah, I know. I don't know much about dance, but I'm guessing Nijinsky is very limber.
Yes. Why explore that area at all? Well, anyway, don't you have to go to therapy after reading something like that?
I know. I begged her to take out the whole Nijinsky thing, but she didn't. She just laughed about it.
Right. And there's photos in the book, I understand.
Not thankfully of that, but yeah, there are some photos.
People are filing out right now. Well, let's change topics, shall we? That's what any good host would do now. You are on TV constantly. You're Anderson Cooper 360. You're on TV all the time. But what do you like to watch in your spare time? When you go home and watch television, what do you watch?
Well, there's two shows I'm obsessed with. One is this show Primer Impacto. Do you guys watch this on Univision?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. It's on Spanish television. It's on 5 o'clock every afternoon, and it's the most tabloid news program on the planet. It basically, it's all in Spanish, which I don't speak. But you don't really need to speak Spanish because, first of all the anchors are totally like busty women in low-cut gowns, and it's all about their legs. And then whatever the lead story is whatever the most dramatic video of the day. And it can be like a horse that got hit on the side of the road in Ecuador. But if it's like bleeding,
they'll just show that
they'll show
footage?
the video. Yeah, it's amazing. And that'll be the lead story of the day. But my favorite part is at 5:47 every day or thereabouts is this guy, Walter Mercado, who is a huge astrologer in the world. He's hugely popular. And he gives the daily astrological forecast, which, yeah.
Walter Mercado.
He looks like he's completely Botoxed, and you think when his mouth opens, Botox will pour out of the mouth. But he looks like Liberace, and he's very dramatic. He has 2 cameras, and often he's like in the lobby of Caesar's Palace. And he'll like look at one camera, and he'll be like, Gemini. And then he'll turn very dramatic and he'll go, Tauros. And he'll give the forecast.
And he'll give the forecast, which you don't even understand because they're in Spanish.
But you don't need to.
Yeah.
Someone
told me, yeah, you brought a clip of this guy.
I wanted you to see him.
Let's show this clip from Primer Impacto. Why not? Let's take a look.
Cáncer, nada menos que Mercurio directo en la cumbre. Momento de que te reconozcan tus quilates de profesional y sobre todo tus quilates como ser humano.
Okay, that's the best thing I've seen on television in a long time.
Yeah, it's gold. And he is a
What is that called? That's Primer Impacto?
It's Primer Impacto. It's 5 o'clock on Univision every afternoon. He's at 5:46, 5:47.
I just want to see that. I'm setting my TV.
Oh, no, it's fantastic. And also, the other best show, which I'm completely obsessed with, is My Super Sweet 16 on MTV.
Yes, I watched that show. I watched My Super Sweet 16.
They should all be lined up and shot.
Thank you for... This is an amazing show, My Super Sweet 16.
If you have not seen it, it is literally incredible. These people should be shot.
They show the... I don't think it's going to... They show... You know this show, Jimmy? They show the... They get these incredibly rich 16-year-old girls who are going to have their Sweet 16 party.
And boys, they had one with the guy.
It's more fun with the girls.
Right.
And they show their Sweet 16
party. And they're spending literally $250,000 on these parties.
And screaming at their dads because they wanted a white SUV and not a silver SUV with a bow on it.
The best one is this girl from Roswell, New Mexico, who I guess her dad struck it rich with these like sleazy nightclubs in San Diego. And she threw this party, literally, and she said, I want to be the most popular girl in school, so I'm going to throw a big party. It was so...
That's how I talked in high school, by the way. So,
that's my favorite show.
I'm glad. So you're not... This is interesting. You're coming on this show not to get the word out on Anderson Cooper 360, which airs at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on CNN, but you spent more of your time and effort getting the word out on My Sweet 16 and Primer Impacto. Ladies and gentlemen, Primer Impacto. Check it out. Well, thank you very much. Nice having you on the show. Anderson Cooper. We'll take a break. When we come back, Louis Black is here. Stick around. All right, everybody, we're back. Fine show tonight. Fine show coming up tomorrow night from the new movie House of D. David Duchovny going to be joining us from Saturday Night Live. Rachel Dratch is going to be here. Musical guest Widespread Panic. So watch that show. We'll be right back. Louis Black is here. Stick around.